You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, another great podcast lined up for you. We got another great guest that's going to be sharing with you guys. One that you guys might have heard from before, but we're going to switch it up, talk about some different topics that I think you guys are going to be really interested in today. Talking about adding value, upselling, customer service. What does that actually mean? Let's quantify some of those things today, which is what the theme of this podcast is going to be about. Without further ado, we got John Kerzelis here joining us from Foundry Co. How you doing this morning, brother?
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, you've been making a couple rounds on the podcast blogosphere. I heard you're one or two shows at least now with the Almonds. I know you've been Jeremiah Jennings' show with the Growing Greens podcast here recently. You guys are making the rounds, and for good reason. You guys have a great product that you guys market with Foundry Co. as well. So for those, though, that haven't listened to those episodes just yet, give me the 1 or 2 minute, maybe like high level about who you are, your background, what do you do, and what you guys are selling, and we'll kind of kick it from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. I want to say thanks for having me on. Been following you for a while. You're very inspirational to a lot of people, and
thanks,
I think that's important in this industry. You're very welcome. I think it's important. From my experience, not a lot of people willing to share, at least in the past, and now I think you're paving the way for people sharing and helping each other grow. We don't be competition. So I want to say thank you first and foremost.
You bet, brother. You bet, man. You bet. Anytime, of course. 100%. Dude, it's been great to pour into the community. My gosh, I feel like I'd be a taker of the decade and a raging douche if I didn't pour back out how much you guys have all poured into me, man. So it's dude, it's the right thing to do. So anyway, let's talk about you though, man. It's I'm super pumped about hearing your story, man. So what's where's your background? Where do you come from?
So the bridge version, I guess, would be Foundry is going on its 6th year now. Was founded by our president, Chase, one of my closest friends I'm 42 this year, close to 30 some odd years, 32 years we've been friends, on and off, grew apart, grew together, and now pretty much inseparable as we work together on a daily basis. But we are a business-to-business wholesale distributor of outdoor lighting and fire features. So that's our main go-to. We do offer some additional products as far as sales, but I think what truly sets us apart than anyone else that does something similar, your typical sales reps, is we don't work for a manufacturer. We work for the contractor. That's how we say it. The architect, the designer, the people that we're working with is who we work for. So we represent 30, over 30 brands now of lighting, fire, outdoor kitchen, artificial turf, a bunch of products. And we want to always find the correct product to make that job do or look proper. The same way in other industries, you want to have the right equipment for the job. Well, in our world, we want to make sure that each object that we're lighting, every effect we're trying to make, the safety, the security, is going to have the proper fixture for that application. And that changes all the time. We are not brand specific. That doesn't matter to us. I don't care what's on my shelf. I'm not trying to push what was on sale or what's old stock. I want you to have the sickest project possible and you to be happy. And that's first and foremost. And secondly is that you're not going to end up with problems from your customer, because if you have problems, that gives me problems. I want to have product that is reliable, that has a good warranty, that is backed by a large company that's willing to work with you and with us. So that's really the basis of how we started and what we do.
Yeah. What's what's your specific background in the industry? Because I think you were doing this. Did you have your own business? I'm trying to remember it stitched together from the Almond show and Jeremiah show. But were you in the industry before, or how did you get started with Foundry?
So actually, I've always been interested. My father, he had installed pools as an immigrant to this country. It was our first trade he learned when he came here close to 55 years ago to America. And he learned the trade, and I always loved it as a little guy. I was in the machines with him, watching him excavate and build the pools by hand, not the way it's done today at all. And then kind of went away from that because I didn't want to live that life, that hard life. You know, I mean, he's got these paws of hands from that. Yeah, you know, these monster mitts, and I didn't want to live that. So I did the college route. It was very important for us, for my family. You know, my dad, again, being an immigrant, my mom as well, that education, they wanted us to have that opportunity that they didn't. So I did that, and I studied human resource and business management, in fact, because for me, I love people. My why is helping people. Outside of my family and my girls, I love to help. I truly do. I love seeing other people succeed and passing that knowledge along. And if someone's willing to listen to me, I love that. I'm like, wow, you think I have value? Thank you. I will give you every effort I can now for you believing in me. So yeah, that's kind of where that went with human resource. And then kind of fast forward, a lot of human resource stuff, jobs, supermarket industry, healthcare company, restaurant business. And then came the pandemic early on before the pandemic hit. Actually, I want to say late 2019. Family was in a transition from some different area from South Carolina back to New Jersey, and
okay.
I was offered as a position to basically be the director of operations for a landscape company, landscape design build firm. Had no clue what I was doing as far as the actual landscape outside of what I enjoy doing. I love mowing my own lawn. I love gardening. I was always into it. But I seemed to really excel at it, and then learned my lighting from that point, and then also started pitching in with the lighting company and a little part-time here and there. Next thing you know, the pandemic was just like your feet to the fire. You had to learn everything very quickly. Then we transitioned back to South Carolina, left the landscaping firm, and continued full-time with the outdoor lighting section and distribution portion of it, working with Chase, the founder, again, because we were friends for a long time, and I knew what he was doing. And he said, there's no one else that I think can do what we do than you, and he wanted to give me a chance, and I appreciated that. And we've kind of hit the ground running.
Dude, that's awesome. So you're, 2 years plus now at Green Foundry Co., around there?
Yeah, so technically it's 4 years, but really full-time, I would say almost 2 full years. Yeah, so but part-time for a while, and I wasn't really doing much. I was doing a little stay-at-home dad stuff, kind of just helping out. Then the pandemic, a little bit of Green Foundry, more of the landscape design build. And then after we transitioned back to South Carolina in August of 2021, it's just been that since, nonstop.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Where did you guys settle in South Carolina?
So we're actually just south of Charlotte, North Carolina, little suburb, Fort Mill.
Okay.
Really, really nice area. About 30 minutes to the beach. About 30 minutes. 3 hours to the beach. About 3 hours to Atlanta. About 15, 20 minutes to Charlotte. So kind of right dead center.
Yeah. Okay. Cool deal, man. Yeah. I was going to say, I have some friends down in Charlotte, and I was like, well, I think that's like 3 hours from the beach, but I don't, what do I know?
Yeah.
So Raleigh's where you go if you want to go live by beaches and get closer to the water. I'm like, Charlotte's way more inland, and that's NASCAR country down that way, man. It's a wild animal, and then a lot with banking too from Charlotte area. But dude, that's really, really cool. So let's quantify really quick again for me, Green Foundry Co., because some people are hearing the name pop up a couple times, a couple great people that use your product. I think, I don't want to put words in the mouth, but I think J Squared Outdoors, I think Dylan Solo Cuts is working with you guys. I think the Almonds are buying a bunch of your guys' products. So I don't do landscaping. I don't do installs. I don't do hardscape patios, all that mess. I love watching that work. Don't get me wrong. I want to have something cool like that in my backyard. But I don't do what you guys do. So I'm stitching stuff together that I hear other people are using. And that's where I wanted to reach out to you and say, hey, dude, we're not getting pitched anything to, share Green Foundry with you guys today, if you will. But nonetheless, hey, send some lights for my future backyard, right? I guess, whatever. But I'm just having fun. But outside of that, you were talking about Green Foundry Co. So outdoor lighting, kitchen stuff. What does that mean? Like, why can't people just go get $20 lights from Home Depot? Like, what makes your guys' lights so special, bro?
Okay, so kind of going back. So
without ripping my head off, because I don't know what that even means.
No, it's all good. And I actually prefer you questioning that, because that's a big obstacle that I run into a lot, and in selling the product. But kind of going back, so lighting and fire features, meaning your fire bowls, your fire pits, your gas burners, that's where we really focus. All the other stuff is additional. We can offer it, but it's not like our main thing. That's not what we really promote, because we really want to be specialists, right? And we really love lighting and fire. We love the way that makes the project look. It's like the lipstick at the end, right? When you get or the pocketbook, I don't know, the accessories. That's what my wife always says. She goes, the lighting is like the extras. And I'm like, yeah. And at first she thought it was not even a point to it. Didn't understand it. But what we do that's different is, again, so many different brands based on your application. So there is a big difference between Home Depot, your big box stores, even some of the national chains of distributors that are out there. From us, I believe there's a significant difference, because we really walk with the contractor hand in hand. We don't have a brick and mortar. We do a lot of our work via online services like social media, website,
sure,
Zoom meetings. We do most of our consultations that way. So we give consultations based on your project. So then we are able to tell you which product is correct. A lot of times those big box store products, they're cheap. They say you could put it in. The homeowner's like, oh, I could do this. They're not going to last. They're never going to last.
Accurate estimating starts with accurate accounting. In previous years, you may have been able to get by based on your gut feeling or rough calculations. However, this year, business financial risk has increased due to fluctuating and rising expenses. To ensure you are hitting your profit and cash flow goals, it is now crucial to know your numbers. The accounting firm Cycle CPA currently helps over 175 green industry businesses maneuver in these hectic times through a solid bookkeeping foundation, monthly reports, and continuous advisory meetings. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
Trying to put something square in a round hole, it just doesn't work. They're not meant for longevity. So if you're comfortable with putting something on your property that you just spent $250,000 to put pavers and a pool and landscape and irrigation, and you want to put a fixture that's going to be destroyed in a couple months, maybe 2 years. If you're lucky, they last 2 years. Go ahead, be my guest. That's not how we really like to look at it. We want to say, you're putting quality everywhere else. Why would you not put the same quality into the lighting? Mm-hmm. So there is a big difference with brand, and that's part of the value, identifying that brand that's good for your project. That's where some of that value for us really comes into play. Also, where I realize I really have a niche is beginners, people that don't know a lot about how to install the light, how to actually place light fixtures properly. I've seen contractors that are doing amazing landscape, hardscape design build work, and then their lighting is just okay. Mm-hmm, they are putting they're putting 50, 60, 100 fixtures, and they think that's what makes lighting good. That's not what makes lighting good. Any of the high designers will tell you you're better off lighting less objects well than a lot of objects improperly. So I don't care that you did 196 fixtures on a job. Well, I did 40 on a job, and I bet you mine looks better than your 196 fixtures. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what we preach. That's a big value add that I feel that we bring. Sometimes it's hard for older contractors. And when I say older, I mean that have been doing a little bit. They're in their way, just like anything else.
Sure.
But I feel like the newer generation, because of a lot of the social media, a lot of guys like you, like the Almond, like the Green Industry podcast, those guys are sharing so much that people are more willing to listen. And I'm not saying they're going to do what you tell them, but they'll take that for what it's worth and then apply it where they see, instead of just writing you off as a salesman or you're just trying to make money on the product, because that's not really what we're trying to do. Sure. Obviously, we're all here to earn a living. We want to make money, but I'm not going to put bad product. It's like, are you a mow and go and blow kind of guy, or are you laying the stripes the right way, taking the time, not putting divots in the lawn when you're turning your machine around? Like, that's a big difference, right? You can relate to that.
Oh, 100%. Well, and we try to. Are we perfect at it? No, but I totally understand where you're coming from with the higher end, the quality, the doing a good job, and taking satisfaction and pride in what you do. And that translates to 100 different areas of the business, lawn care, landscaping, lighting, of course, fire features. I'm like a moth to a flame, dude, when it talks about fire. Like fire, outdoor water features, fire features, and lighting, I think are just some of the most underrated aspects of like outdoor living, as they call it these days. And I bug the almonds all the time. I'm like, hey, how much is, and God bless them, they still get back with me, because we do a lot of stuff together with work and life and events. And it's just funny. Like, I'm like, hey, how much is this fire pit? How much is this? And they're like, they always joke, like, if you got to ask, like, and I'm like, oh no. Cause I was like, hey, how much for the seat wall? It had some really beautiful lighting, and they're throwing out numbers like tens and tens and tens of thousands. And I'm like, dude, are you for real? I'm like, I thought this was like $3,500. And Almond's like, yeah, you and everybody else. And so that's been like the last 2 years conversation. But it's funny though, when I see, I was actually at a company local to me about an hour away called Atlas Outdoors. Sam Gemble, great dude, great team there. They have at their shop, the front half of the place was the office. The back half was the warehouse for the maintenance crew and like the mechanics and stuff. But out front, they built this really cool outdoor patio, and they have a I don't know, John, maybe a 3 foot by 6 foot fire feature. Those black coals and or blue coals, whatever. And then they got the little gas burners, and they have it running all the time in the morning. And then when the guys get back, just as a huddle spot, for people to warm up, that they have going on from, October through March. But people come around fire, people come around lighting, people come around these water features and koi ponds. And so I always tell people, like, don't discredit or don't dismiss, number one, including those. Caleb Ballman's got a great line. He goes, don't add that stuff after the fact. He goes, make that part of the original design. So talk to me about that, because I know I've heard you say that too. So talk to me about that.
Yes. Thank you. Preach on with that.
Yeah.
I talk to him and I talk about it a lot. Not to give him too many plugs, but he was one of my first customers who believed in me, and I believed in what he was doing with the value. And he always talked about value, and that's how we look at it. So saying that, it's why are you going to just order a portion of what you want, or just present a portion of what the homeowner thinks they're saying?
Right.
Give them the vision. Give them the value of what you're good at. Here's your pool. Here's your patio. Here's your fire. Here's a water. Here's some lighting. We didn't ask for that. I know you didn't, but this is what it looks like. If you want to take this in phases, we can definitely take it down to phases. Typically, one of two. Usually, the wife will say, we can't take the lighting away, honey. I'm sorry. That's like spot on. Women always, when they see light, they always want to try to leave it on. Mm-hmm. So by putting stuff in front of a customer in the beginning, it's easier to budget for that stuff as well. Because these are items that get left off because they are not inexpensive. If you're going to do it correctly, water feature, another item that we can offer, the fire, the kitchen equipment, the lighting. If you're doing it right, it does add up. And when you're already doing a $70,000 fiberglass pool with 2,500 square feet around it, that's another $15,000 to $20,000, and another $15,000 in landscaping. It adds up, and people are like, "Oh, but if you're going that far, why wouldn't you just take that next step?" And knowing that it's going to literally cost double for someone to come back and do it.
Right.
Right. So that's why we say add it at the beginning. It's more, and so that they have an idea. So if they're like, okay, we're not doing it now, but we do want that stuff. Now you can lay infrastructure, you can lay piping, you can lay water, conduit, things like that, so that when it is time, maybe it's not double, it's only 25% more, but at least present that option to these people. Why not? You're leaving money on the table.
Well, let me just interject. Like your job is to sell lights, so of course that's your perspective. I say that respectfully. My attitude is, as a customer, I'm thinking, of course, John's going to say that. But as a customer, or something that you guys are selling to too as well, think about this. Like, dude, start talking vehicles for a quick second. Like, everybody wants the nicer looking lights. Like, Mercedes wouldn't make that stupid light up logo and upsell it for $600 if people wouldn't buy it. Okay, so you can get the cool Mercedes for $55,000 or $85,000. And you're like, really, dude? Somebody's going to spend $600 for a light up emblem that, let's say, costs $150 to put on the car. Dude, that is 100% an upsell offer, just to A, have lighting, or B, of course, have the emblem that shows you have a Mercedes after dark, right? Because, by the way, how many car companies now have a front light logo? Lincoln has it, Mercedes has it, a couple other BMWs are having it, Audis are having it. And when you start talking to a higher end client that has the $85,000 Audi S6, right, and it's got the LED lights that shoot down with the 4 rings for the Audi lights, you can't tell me that type of clientele doesn't want good quality lighting, or the fire features, or the water features. Like, again, this might be it could be a mental block. It was for me when you don't grow up with money, you don't have any money, you don't really, you're living necessities. That's fine. We all get it. But when you start talking to somebody that, and again, I'm not building outdoor living spaces, but if I'm pitching somebody a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 outdoor solution, you best take the opportunity to upsell this stuff that, by the way, has some really, really good profit margin in it. I mean, is that kind of no brainer, John?
Yeah. So that's kind of my point. So pavers, landscaping, grading work, if you're making 10 to 15%, cutting lawn 7%, you're lucky, right?
Sure.
It's like the restaurant industry. Well, if you do lighting well, if you do fire features well, and if you do aqua features, water features well, there's like 40 to 50% plus in that work.
Wow.
It's a high end work. And I don't mean charge the customer for the merchandise and upcharge the cost of the material. No, charge them for your skilled labor. Building one of those beautiful, like the Yardist, I don't know if you follow him online, he does these beautiful water features. He gets paid because those features are intricate and they're unique, and and then the lighting that a customer of ours is in Connecticut, he does unbelievable lighting. He never gets questioned on price because the value is there. Lighting is one of those things, to kind of go back to not as a sales pitch as much, the increase in your value of your home, as well as safety and security for lighting. It's a fact. It brings up the value of your home and the safety and security. So, okay, I could see maybe fires a little bit, you might go above and say, okay, I don't want to do the fire. That's a little more money, or the water. But lighting should minimal be the thing that's always on there, because again, safety, security, and the value in your home. A well-lit home is definitely going to be worth more than a home that's not lit well. It's just fact.
100%. And that's the conversation that we're hoping to break ground on our home this spring. My guy knows, like, unlimited budget for can lighting and then outdoor exterior down lighting. And I'm just being serious. It's like, I think we're quoted like 86 can lights. Actually, they have new ones now. It's a whole different story. Yeah, there's like these LED ones that are about 1.5 inches. You've probably seen these before, John. They're like they're replacing can lights for the interior of homes. If you guys are like, my builder built his home first, so which is actually pretty dope. He just built his the last 12 months. So he's like, actually, I'm moving a bunch of things over in our product line for our offerings for our luxury home builds. And I'm like, yeah, you go first. That way, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go first. That way you guys update all the product catalog, and then everything that you are putting in yours, then put in my house. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, so we do offer that, actually. So I am familiar with interior. So part of us, we can offer interior fixtures as well, your wall sconces, your chandeliers.
Okay.
So we do have access to that stuff. But again, it's not what we promote. But when our contractors, some of them are electricians, licensed electricians, they need 45 can lights because they're doing a house.
Mm-hmm.
They get them for us. Or I mean, I remember one guy bought a whole pallet of them. I think it was 300 something pieces of recessed lighting for, I think it was like a 6,500 square foot home.
Wow.
Like that's, so yeah, I mean, there is definitely value in lighting. It is very important, and it's not an inexpensive item, but it's something you're going to do once. Yeah, right. In my opinion, it's a one-time investment.
Well, and that's the same thing. I was just gonna say, like security cameras, pools, lighting. That's a one-time thing that you're gonna do up front, and to go backfill. It's a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort. By the way, two things I wanted to plug really quick, guys. If you're listening to the show, outside of following John on Green Foundry, by the time we're done with the show, give him a shout, on Instagram. But two of my favorite people to watch, and we've had both of them on the show. One guy one time, one guy multiple times. Shout out to Dylan Stevenson with Solo Cuts. He's over in Springfield, Ohio. I think it's Springfield, but Springfield, Ohio. He does. Dylan's just, I'm so impressed with the guy, the quality of the work that he's done. He is not the same dude from 5 years ago, mowing lawns, nights and weekends, and working at Gordon Foods, to then, flushing his job and running his landscaping company, to now he's doing bigger and better and nicer jobs every single day, where I'm like, bro, if I had a short list of people that I would pick to do my landscaping at my house, Dylan would be top 2. And I'm totally serious. I mean, like, it would be the Almonds, it would be the Molders, it would be Dylan Stevenson. Now, I'm probably going to do like a $200,000-$300,000 patio and landscape install at my house once it's all said and done. So I need somebody that can have an army of 25 people. So I don't think I can shove that job onto those guys. And plus they're all out of state. But my point is, Dylan, if you're listening to him, bro, I'm always impressed. He sends me his work all the time. We rib and rab more than anybody. I'm always busting his balls and vice versa. But dude, guys, take a look at Dylan Stevenson's Instagram page, Solo Cuts Landscaping, beautiful lighting, beautiful landscaping. Number 2, it's Oregon Outdoor Lighting, if I'm not mistaken, was the name of the guy, his business, and then Washington Outdoor Lighting. Have you seen those guys' page, by the way?
Yeah, so I am actually familiar with all those people. So Dylan, I have reached out to recently, hoping to potentially partner with him, and I always call it a partnership because I feel like I bring value and I can take care of some things for the smaller businesses. So I'm partnering with them and helping them. And the guys out west, I have seen their work. They do great work. They really do amazing work there. They do it the right way, but they focus strictly on lighting.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
And to me, there's definitely a difference. Not there can't be a crossover, but do what you do and do it well, right? Like that's what you hear a lot. Like stick with something, and you can add these other businesses line items on to service your customer. But make sure before you just start adding it on, you're not just adding it on because it's profitable. Know that you're going to be interested in doing it the right way,
right.
and all the intricate parts. Because kind of going back to the beginning, yeah, you can buy big box ones, and the homeowners say they can install lighting. But to do it the right way with your connections, your transitions, your PVC piping, protecting the wire, leaving and entering landscape beds, transitioning under pavers, mounting them on your roof, core drilling them into pavers. There's a lot to that, So it's not just like anybody can do it. Sure, you can go grab some lights and stick them on your front lawn, but I don't think it's going to look the same.
Right. Well, and Dylan, I'm telling you, like, you had said earlier, less is more. And I can see Dylan putting out 12 or something lights that, dude, just looks so good. He's great with placement, great with lighting. I'm going to stop talking about Dylan because he's probably blushing at this point. And he's like, man, he's gonna bug me. He always shoots me a text. He's like, man, you mentioned my name again. I know I'm your biggest fan. And I'm like, you're my biggest fan is what he always says. And so... you guys listening, we're all ridiculous. We're a couple nuggets short of a Happy Meal, man. I swear to God. But so John, by the way, if you get that contact in Connecticut, or give me when we're done, give me your best guy for lighting that you guys sell to. I want to get some more lighting guys on the show because I only know of a few.
He'll do it.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
He'll do it. Yeah, 100%. We just met when we were in when I saw you over in Equip, not GIE, Equip Expo. He was with me, and he's like, so you do a lot of that social. I'm like, he's like, I need to get more into that. I'm like, all right, I can get you on something maybe once.
I'd love to have that. I want to in 2023. I want to get more lighting guys on, and I want to get more tree pruning guys, arborists.
So great job!
Yeah,
what a great job that is.
I'm getting a ton, dude. Like, first off, I highly respect the tree guys. Two, they're all crazy. They're literally all crazy. They're shout out to my tree people, but dude, you have to be to climb up a freaking 80-foot tall tree with a little hatchet chainsaw thing, top handle saw, and then cut that thing off and then have it swing it, dude. Whatever, man. You guys are nuts that do trees. But if you guys got a good tree company or a good tree person and somebody that knows how to talk and wants to have some fun, somebody shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, and also lighting. But John, if you got 1 or 2 leads when we're done, let me know, because I want to get more tree people, more lighting people on in 23. That's the number one thing. People listening to the show keep asking me to get on, and dude, I'm fluid, man. I'm dynamic. Whatever you guys want to hear is what I want to record, and so those are some great things that I want to pour back into the community with next year. So, John, let me do this real quick. I got about 5 minutes left here because the wifey said the baby just got up. We're gonna go out to grab lunch. I'm recording this during the afternoon. So, number one, thanks for taking time out of your day to record this. I know you got a family, you got life, you got everything going on. But we started the show with opening up, talking about adding value to people, and you've been in sales and hospitality and working with people for 10, maybe 15 years now.
God bless you. God bless you. Well, how closer to 20 years?
20 years. And you've been doing it though since you were a little kid though, right? Talking to people so you're my extrovert, talk to people. I'm the introvert, don't want to talk to people. But when you say like add value, and really, it seems like a buzzword that a lot of people say, like, add value. When people start talking price, you start talking value. So quantify that for me for a minute. What are some things that people can do to add value, to build relationships, to serve people, customers or clients or accounts? Like, what does that mean for you? Like, what are some of the examples that you guys do for instance?
So I appreciate you saying that. So a couple things that come to mind immediately. Pick up the phone when you say you're going to pick up the phone. It's not that hard. I mean, we offer services technically 24/7 because of Instagram, online, text messaging. If you call me and you're my regular customer and it's a Sunday and you're doing something, I'm picking up, because you're not calling me to say, hey, what's up, John? How's the kids? You need something from me. So that goes for everyone. If you're providing a service for lawn care or pavers, return the call. Be diligent. And if you're not going to be able to keep that promise, let them know you can't keep that promise. It's way better to be truthful up front in your life in every aspect than to lie and get caught in it later. People will forgive you up front. So, the phrase, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah.
That's for cowards, in my word. You should do what you want. If you have the brain to make the decision, do what you want, and don't worry what the other people are saying, but take in consideration that it may be affected. Your actions have consequences, right? So I don't ask, can I have another cookie? I take the cookie, but I know it's going to add calories to me. I don't take it and then my wife goes, what happened to the last cookie? No, I tell her I'm taking the last cookie. It's what it is. Give value, be truthful, be honest, hold yourself accountable in communication. So that's one. And two, I also really believe in love what you do and show that. So I really care that Brian asked me, here's the design that the landscaper did, and I'm going with it. But what's your suggestions? I don't like all of these lightings. Okay, well, Brian, give me 2 weeks, give me 4 days, give me 24 hours. I'll get you an answer. Stick to that and love what you're doing. Be passionate about it. I always say that. I feel like your job is my job. Your money is my money. I don't want to spend it randomly and be wasteful. I want it to be worth the value, so that when you're done, you feel happy. You're not saying, I feel cheated, you feel cheated. No, when they're always like, give me a better price. No, this is the price so we all can give you the same work and we can all make a living. Stick to those things. It's not that hard. It's simple values. And also be a hard worker. Care about what you're doing, be a hard worker. My dad, again, was an immigrant. My mom was an immigrant. I know that life. We didn't have a lot growing up, and we've made enough for ourselves. And I don't want to say a lot, but I know the struggles, for sure. So just care, show someone you care. It does go a long way. You'll build better relationships that way. You'll get more work, and then your price will never be questioned.
That's good. No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just letting you rock and roll, brother.
No, that's it. That was it. And I really believe that. Again, my pop, he sent 2 kids through college, paid for a wedding for my sister, and was an immigrant, and he never advertised. Whatever advertising you guys are talking about, there was no advertising budget. He had a Ford Econoline E150 with a magnet that was about 16 by 12 that said Billy's Painting on it. That was it.
That's awesome.
And, come on, dude.
That's all. But you know what? Like you said, if you do, it's not just do good work. Like a lot of people will say that's like the prerequisite, right? Do good work, do a good job, make the customer happy. I love what you said, which is like advocate on the customer's behalf. Do something that would blow their mind that you would want done on your own property, right? Like my builder, he's builder to be. He just redid all the can lighting for him and his company with new tech that just came out. These cool little like LED 1.5 inch little like lights that you poke into the ceiling. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not a builder, but so he goes, yeah, we're gonna definitely do this for your house. He goes, these look beautiful. These are awesome. It's not much more money. These are what we're going to do moving forward for the Miller Building Company. And I said, fantastic, but he could have just said, hey, dude, we're going to put in, like, I got some old stock. We're going to put in can lighting at your house, but he saw the value that was at his place. He said, I know this is what you're going to want. And being a lighting person or not, that was almost irrelevant. It's just, hey, if this is what I'm going to do for me, this is what I would imagine that you want the same level of quality or excitement or awesomeness or blowing people's mind or the wow factor, right? And so there's like, hey, do a good job. But then there's, hey, like, treat it as if it was your own. And you'd be shocked that people ask all the time, how come these other people, they don't even advertise and they get nothing but great, nothing but leads and work and they're always busy or booked out. It's like, bro, because the level of quality and attention to detail that an Andy Mulder is going to put on your job site, well, Andy Mulder is twice as much or, 30% premium. Yeah, but the guy really cares about the work that he does. And like, that's the difference. And by the way, why is he booked out 3 months, 6 months, a year out? Like, success leaves clues, right? So it's I didn't want to when I had the awkward non-interruption there a second ago, it's like, because I'm just writing that down. I was like, dude, that's good stuff. Like, I'm like, that could be the title of the podcast. Because I was like, but it's true. But I didn't want to just gloss over that where you were like, dude, serve. It's like, that's what adding value means. It's like putting yourself in that customer's shoes. What would they really want? What can I really do to blow their mind? And of course, lighting is a natural fit within, to go full circle.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know we're short on time, but just like, so a big thing for me with the fire, because we're talking about a lot of light, there is a stainless steel burner and a brass burner. Yeah, you're going to get fire from both. But are you looking for ambiance or are you looking to feel warm? And these are gas burners, propane, liquid propane, or natural gas. Well, I don't care what you want. I'm going to tell you the benefits of the one versus the benefits of the other and let you make the decision. I'm not here to sway your decision. I'm here to educate you the best I can because there's a lot of information out there. And again, I'm biased. I'm not biased. I don't care what brand. I want you to make it look right, because I run into this a lot with fire. Fire is like a key thing because there's a significant price point difference when you're talking a stainless steel versus a brass, but there's a significant difference in output. I mean, a Ferrari is going to be a lot faster than a Honda. You know what I mean? You pay for that. So if you want that, if you want that, then you gotta be willing to pay for it. Now, there's a big difference with those two, but like in the fire, it's not that big of a difference. But educate the installer so they can educate the consumer so that they're making the right decision. So that's a big part of that value that I feel like we're bringing on a daily basis. Really giving you as much data so that you and your customer can make the right decision. Cool.
How do people reach out to you most? Via Instagram, email, phone call? Like, how do you spend the most time with these guys listening in that call from all across the country? What's your bread and butter? So IG, Instagram has become for me
to the point that I actually have a trigger finger from using the phone so much. I'm being dead serious.
So I just twitching.
I got a cortisone injection. It stays shut at times.
Oh my gosh! Oh, wow, that's not good.
But honestly, I don't care. I love it. Like, I'm on it a lot. It's just easy because it's a visual thing. Outdoor living is a visual, so people see your work. They see what you're doing, who you're working with. And then it's easy to communicate because, again, California, I have customers in California. So it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm in bed and they texting me or Instagramming me. Hey, Johnny, what's up with this? Or my guy in PA, he's up at 5 a.m. So he's texting me at 5:30. Can we jump on a call, through Instagram? So they see a picture that I post or I tag somebody in a post and they're like, ooh, how did they do that? How can I do that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that seems the best way to get in touch with me. You can always go to the company's website. There's a online submission form down at the bottom right. So you'd say, hey, I'm looking to speak with John or Chase or trying to get some information about whatever you're looking for. If you're local to one of our areas, so i.e. Charlotte area or the Philadelphia area, you can always reach out and either myself or Chase, the business owner, will set up either a Zoom meeting or come and meet you, especially if you're in those local areas.
Cool.
But, Ohio, I have bread and butter in Ohio and Texas, Illinois. So it doesn't matter. I'll just get on the horn wherever anyone wants. You want to talk on the phone? We talk on the phone. You want to text? We text. I don't care.
That's awesome. Well, good stuff, man. Where can people find you if they do want to reach out on IG or the website? Plug the website and plug the IG so they can catch up with you.
So my Instagram handle, as the kiddos say, is John_Green Foundry Co. And then you can email me at john@greenfoundryco.com. And our website is greenfoundryco.com.
Love it, man.
Pretty simple, all one word. It's good stuff. I really appreciate you having me on today, man. I know it's been a minute. We've been trying to do it for a minute, but glad we finally linked up.
We were connected in like late summer, and then it was a Quip, then it was LAL, and it's just, dude, there's 8 weeks of October through like literally end of November where I'm like, dude, it's impossible. And people are like, hey, I want to be a guest on the show. I'm like, that's great. I will catch up with you in December. Thank you for following up and circling back. For real, it's impossible. That 8 weeks is, we're wrapping up lawns, we're wrapping up leaves, and so I'm glad that we were able to keep in touch. I mean, we've talked for I don't know, a year or two on IG. Yeah. So outside of that, I'm like, we're going to get you on the show. It's just timing's half the battle. Hey, really quick. I know this sounds really weird, but how do you spell John? So people are looking it up on IG.
Right. So, So it's John, JOHN_GREENFOUNDRYCO.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's hard because I'm saying it fast and you got a Jersey accent. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, I know they would get the Green Foundry Co, but my uncle's JOHN. There's my wife's brother is JON. So I'm like, dude, I don't want people to like shoot out an email and be like, yeah, I emailed that jerk, 3 years ago, and he never got back with me. And it's like, well, no, dummy, you forgot the JOHN. I had somebody just the other day. They were like trying to book a coaching call with me. They bought the call and then they emailed me to follow up to schedule the coaching call. We both get an email. Well, they emailed brianslawmaintenance@gmail.com and they're like, what the heck? I can't find you. I can't get a hold of you. They messaged me on like Facebook Messenger at like midnight. And I said, well, what did you send the email? They said brianslawmaintenance@gmail.com. And I said, oh, there's Brian's Law Maintenance 2007 is as what my email is @gmail.com. So it's like, I don't take it for granted, especially when you put out content. Like, you got to make sure you get people the exact where to buy or where to go or where to support. So I was just kind of busting your balls, but I want to make sure we get it right so we don't lose anybody in translation. So, John, that's what I got, man. Any parting thoughts or words? But if not, we'll wrap it up, man. Thank you so much for taking time to be on the show this morning.
Thank you. No, again, appreciate you having me. I want you to keep up the good work and everything you're doing. And when you do end up with your home, and your outdoor living plan, front and back, shoot it to me. Shoot me the 2D rendering and let's talk about it. I really would like to show you how, and then you can be the person to say, hey, this is how it works. It's pretty easy. And maybe we can, we have similar friends. We know the Almonds together for a while now, right? So maybe we do come and do something at your property one day.
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, first off, I need to get the Brian's 10. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. So,
oh, don't worry. We'll see how today goes. We'll decide that later.
I'm just messing. Well, it's funny because I told Liz, I said, you know, it'd be like really, really badass. Like think out loud. I was like, dude, it'd be so cool if I could bring like 10 of my Hardscape friends up here, like Sean Collinsgrove from Premiere, Alex Nickens, Dylan, Almonds, Mulder, if I can afford him or if he can fly in on the private jet. I don't know how that works with Mulder, but my boy Josh Sutton. Josh is like all squirrely now. He's like, hey, he said my name. I'm just messing. I love Josh.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, Josh has been. I'm so impressed with Josh the last couple of years. He is growing like crazy. His company, himself. Great dude, and everything that they got going on. But I said, hey, it'd be nice to do like this, like, you know, build a back. You know, Greg Waitstock does the build a pond day. I was like, dude, it'd be awesome to like build a patio day and like have like 10 of your buddies in for like a day or two and just, you know, literally from zero backyard to $100,000 landscape install, you know, done in 2 day kind of a deal. I feel like it'd be awesome to have that kind of stuff in. I could never afford these dudes. They would cost me 3 times as much because, dude, hotel and food and life and get them all up here and get them away from their business. It just logistically, I'm realizing like that it's actually a lot harder than you think. But it would be really cool to have those guys up. But we'll get some lights in, dude. That's a fact. I'm already soliciting so many people for lights and pool stuff and pond stuff and patio stuff and Unilock and Teco. Everybody wants to get in on it a little bit. So we'll see. It's still going to cost me an arm and a leg, but hey, you know, whatever. It is what it is. And I'm sure those YouTube millions will kick in any minute now though, John. And then we'll be able to pay for this thing because people think that we make $2 million a year with our YouTube channel. And I'm like, that's just not the case. I would be honest if we did. But I will also be honest with you, we don't. So maybe I will need to use the Brian's 10 or the Almonds 10 code, whoever's got a code with Green Foundry Co. So just having fun. But anyway, guys, reach out to John. In all seriousness, he'll take care of you. He'll get you some good quality lighting. If you guys need anything in the meantime from me or you can't reach out to John, reach out to me. We'll get you guys all linked up and make sure that you guys connect and take care of our customers, man. At the end of the day, we're talking about lighting, talking about making money, serving the customers. And for all you guys that are doing landscaping, give John a follow, shoot him a DM, build a relationship there. It might be your next best friend to help you guys grow your company and take care of your customers. So, John, that's what I got, man. Thanks again for taking time to be on the show. Appreciate you.
Yep, be well.
All right, man. Guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Super appreciate you guys listening in. Don't forget to leave us a quick 5-star rating and review if you guys got anything out of this show or if you guys have been getting fed from the show the last couple days or weeks and episodes. We super appreciate the love. In the top right corner, you guys can hit the plus sign and that'll be the follow. And then that way you guys get notified anytime there is a new podcast that we release, it gets automatically downloaded to your phone. That way, when you guys have a Wi-Fi signal at home, that is able to download on your phone. You're able to take your phone out into the field with you guys. As you guys mow grass, do cleanups, plow snow, all that good stuff. We're always there with you guys Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a fresh episode at 7 a.m. So, guys, that's what I got for you today. We're going to kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, to button things up. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch up with you guys here soon.
Did you hear the news? The IRS is gearing up. They are adding 87,000 new IRS agents. Now is the time to make sure your financials are audit ready. Arm yourself with an accounting team that can proactively prepare you for this, starting with a solid bookkeeping foundation. Your time is best spent getting new clients or coordinating the work in the field, not scrambling for paperwork when the IRS comes knocking on your door. Get peace of mind. Work with Cycle CPA, a green industry accounting firm that will not only make sure you are audit ready, but will also highlight opportunities within your business to increase profits and cash flow. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.